Hi everyone, and welcome to my self-care mindfulness class. Today we'll be crafting something special, something that's going to help us to be more mindful in our day-to-day lives. Mindfulness is a practice of being more aware and in the moment, being present with our thoughts, our feelings, and how we connect to the world around us. You can be mindful anytime or anywhere. There's no right or wrong way. It enhances the moment that we're in, and that's how we gauge our practice. I'm sure you've heard of dating yourself, going shopping, going to treat yourself to fancy in a restaurant, or going to a spa. And these are all part of self-care. But what enhances these acts are the moments of mindfulness that we put into it. Today we'll be creating a mindfulness jar. So we'll need our small jar or container, materials to decorate your jar or container with. You will also need popsicle sticks or slips of paper to write on, as well as something to write with. While you're getting your materials together, let's talk a little bit more about mindfulness. The benefits of mindfulness are self-control, the ability to be objective, improve concentration, reduce anxiety and depression, help you to relate to others emotionally and empathetically, enhance flexibility, facilitate recovery. The list goes on and on. Let's get into our jar. As I said before, mindfulness can be done anytime or anywhere. So you have to really understand that the difference in this type of self-care is that there is no limit on how it can be done. It doesn't matter if you're with others, if you're alone, if you're in the hospital, if you're on the couch. Mindfulness can be in everything you do. Just gotta get a scissor. I keep my jar pretty simple. It's probably going to end up being right in a very common space in the home because I want to share the practice. I want everyone to be able to pick from my jar and be mindful. I'm going to go for a bit of a flower base look. get into a few of these slips of paper, cardboard, or popsicle sticks that we're going to be putting in there. So on your sticks, you're going to be writing a few words. So I have some I've already made up. I made about, six of them. So you can count out 6 strips of paper, cardboard, popsicle sticks, or whatever you have to write on, that's going to go in the jar. Now I picked these in particular for a reason, and I'm going to talk about them. So first, the noisy quiet. And you know, this is your personal jar. If you have chicken scratch, like I normally have, doesn't matter, because this is yours. So don't feel like anything has to be perfect. You don't have to type anything. You don't have to use any kind of letter stickers or anything. If you like to, that's up to you. You can even put little stickers on the tips of whatever you used to write on, just to have something else to stand out. Now that I'm thinking about that, I might get some butterfly stickers and stick them around the tips of a couple of these guys. But I want to make it so that it's still kind of anonymous, so I don't know what I'm picking when I go into the jar, just to keep things interesting. So let's go to this first label, the noisy quiet. So when you're in a space a lot of the times, and you have been so used to being in a certain space that you kind of tune certain things out. And we do that naturally, we're human. We're focused on whatever we're focused on, whatever we're doing in that moment. Take the time to, in a noisy situation, get quiet. Get as quiet as you can and think about what you're hearing. Think about each thing, each sound that's going on around you. And what is that sound? You don't need to put too much thought into it or investigate it if you like. But the whole point is to take a moment to listen. Sometimes when you are on a machine, you are maybe in an area where there's a lot of electronics going, there's hums here and there. You might not realize how much you can hear. I mean, we're not from the animal kingdom where we have enhanced hearing, but when you take the time to kind of settle your body, settle your mind, and try to pick up more sounds, you'd be surprised how far away and how many different sounds you may be able to pick up once you quiet your mind and you kind of put yourself in that moment and become more aware. Let's pop that in the jar. I might have overstuffed the jar. Next, think 5 times. So, when I was in school, one piece of advice one of my teachers gave me in elementary school, if I'm not mistaken, just to all the students, but think 5 times and answer once. And that's essentially, before you raise your hand and blurt out an answer, think about what you're saying. Does it make sense? Is it answering the question that was asked? And in that context, I like to still try to do that every now and again when I want to be mindful, when I'm hearing something, when someone's asking me a question, when I think I'm about to judge something in front of me or something that passed me. Let me think about it before thoughts come to my mind to respond to whatever that is. Sometimes it will help you to maybe reframe your thinking so that you're not so impulsive on what you're saying. It may give you a moment to have a bit more clarity about what the answer could be or the possibilities of that answer. It also gives you a chance to really hone in on the words or the sounds that you just heard. And what else they could mean, or maybe emotion that was with the tones. It's so much to read into. But if you take a few moments to think about it, sit with it. Not everything needs a response right away. Sometimes it's no response at all that's needed. Maybe it's something you just need to sit with. Maybe meditate on. Or maybe just say, never knew. And it's just something to add to the memory bank. Next one. Taste the food. A lot of times we're on the go. We're just, we're eating because we have to eat. We're hungry. We know we gotta keep the calories up. We have to pick up, eat on the go while we're doing whatever activity we're doing. So, this is one of those things where you kind of find out maybe you're doing yourself a bit of a service by tasting your food in that moment. I've noticed that there's been times where I mindfully eat and then I'm like, this really don't taste that good. Sometimes in our minds, we are so used to something being a certain way, or we have a memory of a flavor. And anytime we eat something like that, like pizza for instance, our mind will always take us back to our favorite slice of pizza. And maybe what you're eating is not as good, but because we have that memory of a good slice of pizza, I can do pizza. Or, I know this is not one of my favorite pizza places, but I have good memories of pizza. And those memories also trigger emotions. It changes a whole bunch of things mentally that affect your body that you're not even aware of. But when you are actually in the act of eating, you're tasting the flavors, you're tasting the spice, you're feeling the textures in your mouth. Those things just make the moment of eating that meal more pleasurable. It can make it more detailed. You might be one of those people who are constantly feeling like something's missing. That's that chance to think in your mind, get that catalog of flavors going. What else could enhance this flavor? What else could go with this? And again, like I said, you might find that something you've been scarfing down for a long time just isn't that good. And you might need to get a replacement. Or you might find that, you know what, this is the best. I don't know why I've been buying anything else. So, I implore you to be mindful and taste the food. Next, look deep. So this obviously is going to be more of a visual mindfulness. So just think about when you were a kid and you were kind of bored. You might look at a leaf and just sit there and look it around, grab one here, even though it's fake. But even with this, I'm still being mindful and looking deep. It's fabric. I'm seeing porous holes. I'm seeing warp and weft, which you might not understand, but the lines in the fabric. I'm seeing the fraying. Just looking at it. Plastic, how it's stuck to it. Little things about it. That takes me into the feel of it. And for no other reason than just because. What did this few seconds of looking at this leaf, being mindful with this fake leaf, do for me? It took me away from any other thoughts, any other to-do lists. It brought down my blood pressure. It helped me to focus on one thing for a few seconds. And that's all you need. You don't need to always have a time carved out to sit for half an hour to meditate. You can meditate in each moment. Every little bit adds up. Next, we're going to go into touchy-feely. Touchy-feely is basically what I just did with the lid. I looked deep, but I also invested in what's on the tip of my fingers. Sometimes in a day, you might want to focus on just the things that your hands come into contact with. What does it really feel like? When is the last time you really felt all the topography of your skin? Every bump, every wrinkle, every line, your pet, each hair. Just like with humans, pets have slightly different textures, different things in your home. Just taking a moment to feel around. What is that like? You'd be surprised. That little breakaway just to delve into how something feels. You can even take that a step further and hone into being a bit more aware of your own feelings or someone else's. It doesn't have to apply to the physical always. This next one, proceed with caution. Sniff 2 times. I initially had wrote a smelly day on here. That can go either way. So obviously we want to be using those olfactory senses. We want to, I don't even want to say take stock, but like I said, with caution. Maybe when you pull that one for the day, you want to put on your favorite perfume. You want to really think about, as you go out through your day, what your environment smells like. If you are always in the same space, a lot of the times, just like with our hearing, we tune things out. Smells are easily tuned out because we tend to only focus on what we need to focus on, unless it's extremely strong, and then it's a matter of, I want to get away from it. So your body is focused on picking up that scent until you either get rid of it or put yourself in a position, essentially, where you've gotten away from it so that it's no longer a bother. Whether it's a bad smell or a good smell, sometimes it's just too intense, or it can make you nauseous. But it is worth it, I would say, to take the time to smell twice. And even if you are, like I said, setting yourself up for a day of having your favorite scents around, think about what those scents are doing for you. What kind of mood is it bringing you? If you're a person that likes to use essential oils, you might want to kind of delve into a particular oil for the day. Something that is going to enhance your breathing, is going to give you a little bit of elevation for your mood, like ylang ylang, and again on the enhancing the breathing, maybe peppermint. There's citrus blends. There's all kinds of things that stimulate different things in you just through smell. You might want to take it the next step into, do I want to have this in a steam? Do I want to have this in a spray? Is it in my tea? We tend to not think about smells and food when we think about mindfully going through our day and sniffing stuff. Little things throughout the day. Just having your day be kind of garnered by, hey, I'm going to smell stuff today. You don't need to go out and start sniffing the first thing you see or going around the house. No, it could be as simple as is I'm going to drink my coffee, but today I'm going to sip it slow and take in the aroma more deeply than I ever have before. I'm going to really indulge for a few seconds into the smell of my coffee. Last but not least, we have breathing deep. Exactly, rolling from one to the next. And that's how mindfulness works. One thing rolls into the next, and you'd be surprised. But it only takes the focus on one. Breathing deep, we kind of take for granted. And a lot of people kind of think, just I breathe. It's different, a little different. When you're taking that time to, a lot of times when we're pissed, when we're sad and we're sighing, we're breathing deep. We're mindful for that second as we start to think 5 times maybe, and then proceed with whatever we need to do to maybe change that mood or get through whatever we're going through at the moment. But while we're doing our best, our nebulizers, walking through the park, in the hospital, you're with family, with friends, you can breathe deep anytime. But when we're conscious about it, is when we're more likely to actually do it and take stock in the fact that I can breathe deep. This breathing deep helps me to relax. And you don't have to invest so much thought into what that benefit was. Just do it. Just do it. That is mindfulness. Just taking the time to have that act. Let it lead where it may. You don't need to invest a lot of thought into what it should be. Am I doing it right? Just do it and let it be. I hope you got a lot out of the class today. I definitely hope that you would share your mindfulness jar with your friends and family. Everyone could use a little bit more mindfulness. If we're all a little bit more mindful, we're all a bit more connected. Connected to each other, connected to the world around us. Thank you.